Hi, I'm Black Shield, and today I bring you my perspective on the new race of the Warhammer Age of Sigmar game, the Kharadron Overlords. So, you probably have already seen this from GW in the Warhammer community. The images from the Gamma Trade show in Las Vegas about these new steampunk themed dwarfs, the Kharadron. Let me give you a brief introduction before my rant. From the skies come the airborne armadas of the Kharadron overlords, sky fleets of ironclad warriors aboard fantastical machines of war armed with powerful etheric weapons. They are a proud people and masters of strange alchemical powers, guided by their Kharadron code and long hidden from the rampaging forces of the Chaos Gods. They did not merely survive the Age of Chaos, they thrived. With the dominion of chaos receding, they venture forth once more to seek plunder and riches among the realms. This new Duardin, the new dwarf world apparently, faction is a force unlike any you have seen before. These are not the descendants of Grumni who hide in their mountain holds or fled to Azir, and neither are they the firebrand berserkers of the lodges that worship the fractured god Grimnir. The Kharadrons have become a race unto themselves, separated from their kind throughout the centuries. You don't see a single scrap of flesh on them. Every inch of their bodies is clad in armor or complex suits, so as to protect them from the harsh environment found in the magic-infused skies of the mortal realms. Their weapons are powered by strange chemical processes, and their airships, while bearing some similarities to the gyrocopters of their ancestors, are clearly powered by a far more powerful and possibly arcane mechanism. So this is basically the info we have so far. There's a brand new video which I will leave you in the description, but you probably have seen that already. So, what is so special about these guys? What is my perspective? Let's face it, I think they look cool. Steampunk theme was something that wasn't present in the Age of Sigmar. We had a little bit in the dwarves already from the gyrocopes and so on, but of course steam tank from the Empire. But besides that, we didn't have anything like that. So overall, I think they look good. I'm not very fond of this color scheme, but I've already seen an image with blue and gold that I think is more, I think is better. But that's my personal opinion. Uh, what I think about them, well, without the benefit of the rules so far, I guess these guys will bring speed uh, plus firepower and some armored resistance. So I think they are combining the best of your typical dwarf army, which is firepower and resilience. Probably they are probably okay in close combat, and they are adding mobility, I guess. We see the airships, we see guys with the balloon backpack things, whatever these things are going to be, but okay. And uh, overall, I think they look fine. One or two maybe a bit too much, but I don't know. Let's see. Uh, Overall, I think they look just fine. If you're a fan of steampunk theme things, yes, you will love these guys. If not, you're going to skip these ones. Probably, yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, this is bringing a bigger rant amongst the community, especially those who are saying that, well, Again, yet a new book, a new army for the Order, and nothing for everyone else. Well, let's see. I was kind of sharing this opinion, but I had a conversation this morning with a friend of mine, and personally, I think he gave me a new point of view, which I thought was interesting. Let's think, because we are seeing this from the Age of Sigmar's perspective, right from the beginning, with the Stormcast and the Khorne Bloodbound, etc., etc. But we are missing a lot from the past. What came before the Age of Sigmar? The end times, right? You remember the books, all those shenanigans? Yeah. Tell me, what were the more benefited factions back then in terms of boxes, new models, new boxes that you could use? Well, let's see. We had the big Nagash model, right? The big skeleton guy, the three Mortarchs, the Manfred, the Archon, the Neferata. You had the Spirit Hosts and the Morghast, which we could assemble as the Arcane Arbringers. You also had the Glotkin, the three Maggot Riders, Morbidex, the Demon Spawn, and what's Spawned or something like that. I don't remember their names exactly. You also had the Putrid Blood Kings, the Cutthroat Spoon, the special character with all those tentacle things. You had something from the Skaven. You had the Tentacle and Bone Reaper kit. The Vermin Lord box, which you could assemble in 4 different ways, if I'm not mistaken, and the Storm Fiends. I think I don't see any Skaven army without those. I think, and then you had a lot of things from the Khorne. You have the 3 Bloodthirsters, right? The Wrath of Khorne, the Insensate Rage, and the Unfettered Fury. I think those were the names, and also the Wrathmonger slash Skull Reapers box. So you had a lot of these guys, and how many from the Order? 0, right? You had not one revamp, a new model from a Finecast previous version. You had nothing. You had an entire book dedicated mostly to the elves. Don't remember the name. I think it was Cain or Wrath of Cain, something like that. And 0 elves, 0 dwarves, 0 empire, 0 Bretonia. You see where I'm going with this. Sure, now you have 6 or 7 new order books so far. You had 3 books from the Stormcast. 2 are now 2 of them are now not function right now. There's only one. And you have the Sylvanet, the Seraphons, the Fire Slayers, and now these guys. If I'm not mistaken, it was 6 total. But you have a lot of things from the Chaos, etc. So in this perspective, you can see why are they investing so much in Order? Because basically, if you count with the end times, or right after the end times, you had almost nothing new from Order. You had no new things from Empire, no new things from the elves or the dwarves. Bretonia stopped being a thing, as you all know, and so somehow I think that's more justified. I know you're probably going to say, but too much Stormcast so far. It has been something like 2 years, and we already have so much Stormcast stuff. Okay, sure, but they have we have to compensate the loss of Bretonia from one hand, and those guys are the new face of the Age of Sigmar, right? They are pretty much what the Space Marines are for the 40k line. From this perspective, I think the only army that hasn't got much so far is the Destruction Grand Alliance. Sure, you have the Biscuit Riders, but those are just a revamp and specialization from the Ogre Kingdoms. Some new rules, some new artifacts, but nothing more. And you have the Iron Jaws, brand new. Well, they are still orcs, sure, but new, with new stuff, new models. But so far, that's it, right? In all these years, you only had those new guys from the destruction point of view. So I don't know. I think they are trying to balance counting from the end times. So and there are a lot of factions or sub factions in the order. You have three different kind of elves: the high elves, the dark elves, and the now called wanderers. You have a lot of stuff, lots of guys. So you have obviously you have to give some time to those. Let's see about the chaos. You already have a lot of things with their own battle tome. You have the Corn Bloodbound. Sure, they need a new update since the Stormcast already have one. You have the new Disciples of Tizenge, completely brand new, with the exception of one or two miniatures. Everything else is new here. You had the Overchosen, the big Archon guy, the Vanguard, and the God Summoner, also new. You had something from Nurgle, the Nurgle called not Nurgle Rotbringers. Sure, they should have a new book with formations, etc., etc. But hang on, I think they are coming with that. And even the Skaven have the clan pestilence, right? I know there are a lot of more clans that could explore this a lot more. But let's face it, basically from all the chaos, the only thing that they haven't touched yet is Slanesh. By the way, you want to touch Slanesh? Okay, returning to my point of view. It is already promised. Slanesh is she, it, whatever is missing. The followers of Slanesh are looking for it, and it's promised we'll have a battle tome or a new book just for Slanesh. And the deaf guys, well, guys, I think sure it sucks a bit. You only have one book so far, the Flesh Eaters, right? Um, but let's face it, what else can the GW bring new that is completely new, no one has ever seen before within the Death faction? For example, these guys are clearly the new steampunk thing in the Age of Sigmar line, right? I mean, let's face it, you didn't have this before, and some people just like the pure fantasy theme, magic, a few fantastic creatures, monsters, and heroes. That's it. Some people wanted a little more, and I had friends saying, "Oh, you look at these war machine guys. All the armies have this steampunk thing with the robots, the warjacks, and even the infantry has armor and weapons. They are somehow the steampunk thing. Couldn't couldn't Warhammer have something like this?" And I guess this is the answer. And of course, it had to be the dwarves, right? To the deaf guys who like the deaf armies, look, returning to my point, what new thing do you think they could bring that GW could bring? Let's face it, you already have skeletons, zombies, vampires. Um, what else do you think is missing here? Maybe an army of werewolves? Do you think that would work? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I think a lot of deaf players would be already thrilled if the Tomb Kings returned, right? If GW came up with the new Tomb Kings, new book, new formations, and a few new models like a new plastic stone giant or skeleton giant. Imagine with different weapon layouts, different heads, different things, and maybe one or more two units, one or two characters riding big animals, big things. That will be awesome, right? I would say give it a time. I think GW is taking care of it. Um, let's see. Let's face it. What do you think is more profitable for GW? Just revamping things, just saying, well, you know, we are bringing these guys here. We have one, two new models and a new book, and everything else you can use these already existing models. Well, if they do that, what's going to happen? Those who already have the basic models, the core models of the army, will say, "Well, okay, that's nice." They buy the new book, one or two new boxes, and that's it. You're going to spend what, $150 or whatever currency slash value you're used. Um, I mean, it's good, but you think GW is going to make money from that? Probably not that much, right? Um, but if you bring up a completely new army, just like these guys or the disciples, the Descent disciples, the Fire Slayers or whatever, people are going to invest big if they like the army, of course. It's not just the one book; it's going to be all the boxes. The core guys or battle line as they are called, the elites, the monsters or war machines or whatever, you're going to spend 300 or more, probably even more, if you, with a new army. What do you think GW is going to choose? More money, of course. That doesn't mean that they aren't going to revamp more things. Of course, they are. It's quite cheaper for them. They don't have to produce new models, new molds to sell them. They just get to revamp, to create new artifacts, some new fluffs, and then here, have this. But of course, they are not going to make that much money. And let's face it, we all want new models, and sometimes you're going to get things that you really like. You don't have to start a new army just because of that. You can buy just one or two boxes. I like these guys with this touch, with this color. They look nice on my shelf, and that's it. Or you can say, no, these guys are awesome. I want to play with these guys, whatever that is. So I don't know. I think my opinion is just wait. If you don't like these guys, these steampunk team guys, just skip it. Save the money for something else. You know, I'm sure that you will have new editions of the Bloodbound book, probably many other of the Chaos factions of the Destruction as well. Who knows? There are rumors of the return of the Tomb Kings. So if you like these guys, I don't know, buy them. That's your money. You do whatever you like. So what's your opinion? Do you think I'm right? Do you think they are trying to balance things since the end times, and they are trying to push new ideas, not just repeating the same theme, monsters, magic, and heroes, or they are trying to bring something new without without diminishing the older stuff, of course. What do you think? Do you think I'm right about this, or do you think that no, I'm not seeing this right? GW is doing a bad job about all of this. Let me know in the comments. Be nice, and bye for now.